What's going on, YouTube streets? This is simply me. I'm going to try to get through this really quick, but it's toward the end of the day, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get interrupted or not, but it's very likely I will, but I will try my best to get through this as soon as possible. So the topic I want to discuss today is know your worth, ladies. Again, ladies, know your worth. Now, growing up in certain households, some people had parents and some didn't. But regardless of whether or not you grew up in a household with parents, you still have value, and it's important to discover it sooner than later. Ladies, your worth is not through a man. It does not take a female to find a male or a relationship to determine your worth. That's number one. Your worth comes from you, what's on the inside of you. Even as a child, growing up, developing a level of maturity is very critical to finding out your worth later in life. So that also would mean learning how to make friendships. Not the kind of friendships with benefits, not the kind of friendships that end up usually sexual, guys touching and feeling and having some type of likeness for you, but the type of good old friendship that you can call on the phone when you need someone to talk to. Now, some people have a definition of friends that are quite different from others. Some people feel like friends are usually there when they can be used for something, or a friend that only when you feel like that they're a need for you only. But true friendships. True friendships are there when you need help, when there is someone there you can trust, when there is someone there who can be honest with you and who is not envious of you, who is not jealous of you, and they just look out for your best interests regardless of whatever it is that you're going through. Those are the types of friendships that I am referring to. So, ladies, it's good to look out for the individuals that make you side-eye them, especially when they make light of, a joking about maybe the way you look, or, say certain things about the tone of your skin. Say things about your hair, your size, your weight, a little jokey, and be like, I'm just playing. But you cyanide that person, like, where did that come from and what made you say that? Because now you're throwing blows at this particular point. So if you are the type of friend that you want, for example, say you want to be a friend to someone and you want that same friendship to be returned back to you, then if there is a situation to where you feel like, okay, let me be honest with that friend and I need to check that friend, or I need to ask that friend a question, well, that friend should also do the same with you, especially when y'all have a misunderstanding. Instead of keeping it balled up inside and then taking it out on you at a different time or through someone else or being shady, approach that situation and say, why did you say that? Or what made you say that? It's okay. Friendships are not to be taken for granted, especially when you feel like you and that individual are cool. If y'all are cool, you want to know why certain things are said. Because even today, when I question someone and someone is surprised because I asked them about how they said something to me or how they responded or made a comment toward me, because I'm going to ask, what did you mean by that? Or explain yourself to me. Because if it's a reason for me to feel a way about you and it's not a good feeling, well, then that means you've done something wrong, or you've said something wrong, or something that I didn't even agree with. So I feel like in order for me to clear the air with that individual, it's good that you point that out right then. Don't wait till later and let all these little small things build up, then to find out later on, well, looking back, that person really was not my friend in the first place. So go ahead and find that friend that they are such a friend that you guys can discuss certain situations and clear the air. Don't let your feelings build up and then turn negative, because a lot of times it only leads to pain. It only leads to friendships that break up for years down the line. And now at this particular point, if you are noticing things that are negative and they are unable to get resolved, then you need to put that person in a different category from a regular close friendship. That person is now an associate. That person is a homie from the neighborhood, somebody that you grew up with. But if they're not a personal friend, don't put your trust in that person like they are that friend, because they will always end up disappointing you. So always know the signs of a good friend and a friend that's not that type of friend that you would want when you're in trouble. Someone that you can't depend on. Someone that you know that would have your best interest. So take a look out, young ladies, when you're making true friendships, to identify those things and check them. And if you can't check them, or if you don't care to check them, then don't categorize that person as your friend, because true friends will check each other. True friends will have words, but those are true friends. The ones that you ignore and let them say stuff and you side-eye looking at them, then a lot of times they're pretty much not your friend, and you can expect the same in return. Okay? And for single ladies that are older, in their 20s, early 30s, or even people that are new single people that may have been separated or going into divorce, or never got married, just grown single women. You have an important role to play. You have an important role to play to teach the older generation and the younger generation, and also married individuals, how to love yourself as a single person. I think that is very critical, very, very important for single grown women, because people mimic a strong black woman. And it's always important as a single woman who has never been married, or who is newly divorced and single, or married as well. We're not going to single out a person just because you're married or not married, but just those grown women who need to find their passion, their gift. Again, it's not through your children, and it's not through your husband, but it's you living for you. And I understand a lot of times a lot of married women say, I'm married, I have my family, I have my husband, and I have my children. That's all fine and dandy. But again, there is a life for you as an individual, as an independent woman. So you have to learn how to nurture yourself from the inside out. Nurture yourself, and stop running into the arms, single women, stop running into the arms of strangers. And just because you are between relationships, then you feel like the next guy that you meet and they seem to be attracted, or they have a good job, or they have good money, that don't mean you have to date them. That means that if you meet somebody, then okay, they must see something in you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's an invitation for them to be your man. Y'all can go out, y'all can eat, y'all can have fun, but what I would advise is, if y'all go out, boo, have your own money. Don't put yourself in a position to where you allow this man to wine and dine you, and then when they want to get your goods, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Well, the thing about it is men feel like they're being set up when they wine and dine, and they don't get the intimacy along with that. So if you feel like that your value and your worth is more than a meal, a movie, if it's more than that, then I suggest you bring your own money, because men is gonna look like if I could spend 60, 70, $100, then your punani must be worth 50, 60, $70. No, that ain't how you do it, boo. Because if you can, I don't care if I am going out on a date. If I'm going out on a date, I'm going to have my own money, because you never know how that date is going to end. You may end up needing to catch an Uber to the house, because there are certain things that are tolerated when you meet somebody new. And if a person oversteps their boundaries, then it pretty much to me means that this little friendship wasn't working out, But me, I would already meet somebody out. I don't even think they could come pick me up from my house. So again, ladies, don't necessarily date everybody that you meet. And if you do, go out as a friend. Have your own monies. Okay? Because when you value yourself, then people will value you even more. They see something more in depth about you, because you didn't jump and hop to it, because you didn't respond like most women respond. Beauty comes from within. It doesn't come from the outside. It doesn't come from what you can provide to another person. It comes from finding out what it is about you that makes people even attracted to you to start with. Now, married women are a little different, but I have had different girlfriends that were married. I would prefer to be single. Not because I don't have an interest in being married, but I don't see myself in a position to be as submissive as a lot of people that are married. Or, you know what I'm saying? I might be a little bit rough on the edges for somebody that's married. I would need somebody a little bit more independent for me. Some people are power couples. Some people do well when they both have their own thing going on and they have their own friendships that they hang out with. I would probably do good with that. But many women that end up getting married, a lot of times you end up living through your children if you have children. A lot of times when you dedicate your life to your husband and to your household and to your children and raising up the home, well, when everybody's gone and when everybody is out of the way and you're by yourself, you finding yourself calling to check on your children because you worried about them. You finding yourself just nothing to do. So please don't run your children away because you didn't find that time to find out what it is about you that you value just as much as your children. So it's not too late to obtain worth regardless of whatever age you are. But if your family is grown and gone and you have plenty of time on your hands, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to make girlfriends, because at a certain age, I don't think girlfriends is a good way to get involved with other women. I really don't. Because I think married women, I think y'all have y'all's own lane. You have your own lane, or you have your lane with your man. I wouldn't even mix married relationships with my marriage. I would find my own lane. If it's not building my own business or something that would be connected to my spouse, Friendship's just not good after a certain age when you're married. I just really feel like, you know, you've survived this long without a whole bunch of close female friends. I think you can do just a greater job continuing that way. I also suggest that new wives and new households or shaky relationships and shaky marriages. Women, I think it's good for you to save your money because nothing is promised. You should always have your own nest aside, baby. Regardless of whatever anybody told you, you live for you. You have to take care of you first. God, then you. Okay? So put your money to the side because you just never know what emergency situations you may run to, and you don't want to be stuck out in whatever situations that may develop. That's just the precautionary fact, but most importantly, I think it's great for married women to keep your homes happy, keep them entertaining, and figure out that if you're in a relationship for the long haul, how to maintain the intimacy, the romance, and the happiness within your household. If that means making you regular trips to the salon, not the hair up in the everyday ponytail, throwing on something, patting on a little face makeup, and no. When I tell you, married ladies, please, salons, get your nails done. Even if you don't get fake nails, get a nice pedicure. Get your feet done. Get your heels scraped. Get you a nice hairstyle. Practice new hairstyles that you don't have to spend money in the salon. You and your spouse, go out on date night. Try date night. Try spending time with one another, making each other laugh, cracking jokes, listening to old school music. Find a friend in your spouse and learn to laugh and live life. Don't allow him to get distracted with other things that could turn his head, if you know what I mean. Just invest your time in your spouse. Love your spouse to the fullest, or at least say you tried. But only you know if your marriage is worth exploring to that level. So know if your spouse has that spark still left in that relationship. And ladies, find out what makes you happy in order for you to pursue your spouse, because it's a two-way street. If you're going to do what makes him happy, make him want to please you as well. Two-way streets, boo. You can't expect him to do all the work and you not returning. You got to give a little to get a little. And don't wake up one day to realize that life passed you by and it's too late, because it's never too late, ladies. So just throwing some jewels out there to help women understand their worth. Acknowledge that your passion does exist, but it's on the inside of you, and it's up for you to find out what makes you happy, what makes your household happy, and how to keep your spouse entertained, interest, and keep your spouse loving you and not someone else. Single women, girls, understand you first. Don't accept the first date just because he looked good and make good money. And always ask any question that you want to, because you never know what a man could be hiding. They could be hiding anything, and you want to bring it out. Know if it's something that you're willing to work with, and know if it's something that you are willing to give it a chance to. Because sometimes, child, you don't want to give it 2 minutes and you ready to say no. But don't assume nothing. Just because you don't see it, that don't mean it don't exist. Ask all questions, ladies, but know your worth. And you know your worth by doing your research, exploring and asking questions, and joining groups, doing whatever that you can do, starting a business, going back to school, pursuing whatever that thing is that you were passionate about or you're interested in doing. So, ladies, again, just know your worth. Well, this is simply me. And thank you very much. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Peace.